Well, happy Monday. It's Leza live on the radio, on the news, 103.5 FM, KYCA. Happy Monday, Matthew.
It definitely is a Monday, for sure.
It's definitely a Monday. How's Drew doing this morning?
Wunderbar. I got it in before you, Matt.
Back to the normal.
my
Feels
gosh.
good, right?
Yeah, back to
Okay.
the way it should be.
The way it should be. Absolutely. Boy, yeah. I mean, you've heard the saying, go to work so you can get some rest. That's definitely applicable for me this morning. Boy, what a weekend. Jam-packed. We had our big Dancing for the Stars to benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs of Central Arizona Friday and Saturday night, and it did not disappoint.
Was it good?
It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Even with that hurricane that came through on Saturday that tried to throw us off. It tried its hardest, I tell you what, but no go.
No go.
No go. The whole show, both nights, went off without a hitch.
Good.
And we raised darn near close to $500,000 for the kids in our community. Alex is still doing the numbers because there's a lot of variables, but he said, you can safely say $490,000, but he said, I'm not done yet. And then I said, well, can people still donate? Because, man, wouldn't it be great if we could hit that $500,000 mark for our kids in our community. People showed up, and Saturday night, the voting was crazy. Going into Saturday night, Leslie Costas, our celebrity dancer, and her pro dance partner, Michael McConnell, had raised $92,000. By the end of the night, Saturday night, she had reached $102,000 in donations.
That's insane.
I mean, I've got chills just thinking about
fantastic,
it. That's a brand new record for a celebrity dancer and the amount of money that they raised.
The bar has been set.
I tell you what, and this is the 8th year. I mean, sometimes people say things like this fizzle out, but there was no fizzling. I mean, the house was packed Saturday night. We had our official dress rehearsal Friday night, which had an amazing audience, and then Saturday, just, full blown, the VIP reception beforehand. Barry Barb's food. Everybody was raving about the miniature beef Wellingtons and the raviolis and just, all the good stuff.
Anything on sticks?
I didn't see any food on sticks.
Well, now I'm just disappointed.
He was told no food on sticks. I don't know why, but
I think that's the new diet I need to do. Just eat nothing but things on sticks.
Yeah. It's a good one. It's a good one. But I have to tell you, the show, the place was packed, the energy. Well, beforehand, the rain. I go into the Performing Arts Center to get my makeup done around 3 o'clock. No rain. I did bring an umbrella in with me because it was threatening. I came out and it was at 4. It was flooding. I mean, there had been disastrous rain. There's gravel and stuff all over the roads, debris all over the roads. And
What's amazing, it's still out there.
It is still out
today,
there. Yeah.
It was that bad from Saturday.
That's how bad it was. Yeah. I went in to get my makeup done with my slippers on. I came out barefooted because I was like, it was so much rain, so much water. And here's the thing, our after party was outside. Behind the pack, there's a sculpture garden. If you've never been back there, it's amazing. There's a fountain. There's all these beautiful sculptures and a walkway where Alex had put all these stars with all the sponsors, decals on the walkway, huge tent, everything set for a party outside. Well, it got flooded. That's how Fast and Furious the rain came. It's down below.
It is. It's down below, and I'm like, were you swimming in the pool that made...
I didn't even go down there to look at it because I had heard. And poor, Alex and his team frantically trying to figure out what we're going to do because we don't have an option. There's no option B. No bringing it indoors. Of course, we did have a huge tent down there, and I can't say enough about Alex and his crew, Savannah and Michelle. They hired in some people to come on in. I don't even know if they hired them, but come on in. They had to dry carpets because he had laid carpet out on the dirt ground that was underneath the dance floor.
Oh, no.
They had to dry out the carpet. And the party went off without a hitch. Yep, the show must go on. The party went on, and it was amazing. So many people
Good.
stuck around. We thought, well, people will just leave after the show. They didn't. They stuck around. And one really cool thing, I mean, I know I'm going to go on and on and on and on, but there's so much to tell you. Savannah had ordered flip-flops for the ladies if they didn't want to walk all the way down to the after party in their high heels, not knowing that they were going to be essential for, the rain and the mud and the water. So she already had all these flip-flops there. And a lot of people utilize them.
That's just good planning right there.
I mean, I
Very
tell
good
you
planning.
what. Yeah, it really was. So I want to thank everybody that came out, all of my support. My sister, my father, and my sister's boyfriend, Joe, came up from the Valley. Of course, Scott Dandos was there. Jason and his wife here from the station came out. And the whole town showed up. And all of the congratulations and the well wishes after the show. I just had so much support and love and just had a really great time emceeing for the Boys and Girls Clubs. So that's it in a nutshell.
Who won?
Wonderful.
You want to know who won?
We gotta know who won.
Okay, thank you for
I mean,
asking.
we've been doing it for months.
Right,
we gotta
right.
know.
We interviewed every single celebrity dancer and pro dancer throughout the past months. These guys working tirelessly not only to raise funds, but also to learn these amazing dances. Not one of them disappointed. They were so good. So Friday night, the big winners, we had the True to the Times Award, the performance that honored their decade the best, because this was Dancing Through the Eras, right?
Right.
And winning that award, representing the 50s, Dr. Paul Hicks and Mallory Barrett.
Nice.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
good.
I know he was
Great.
so nervous.
Oh, he was so good.
Oh, that's
he
great.
was so funny. He wore 2 different wigs throughout his performance. You guys can see a replay of the entire show. DancingForTheStars.net, I think, is where you can find the link to watch the entire show, because
Very
we
cool.
streamed it live as well. People were watching all over the world, donating real time as well. It was so cool. Next up, judges' choice for the best performance for the evening went to... Oh, you know what? I'm not doing Friday. Am I? No, Friday night, sorry. Friday night, the seat filler for the most Friday tickets sold went to Paul and Mallory as well.
Oh, good,
So they
good.
won an award Friday. And then the showstopper for the most votes collected on Friday went to Phil Stevens and Dre Caldwell, representing the 20s. And then the Billboard dancer for the most sponsorships collected this season went to Leslie Costas and her pro dance partner, Michael McConnell. All right, and then I screwed it up.
Okay,
Saturday
now we got
night.
Saturday. All right,
yeah.
all
Paul Hicks and Mallory won for the True to the Times Award. Judges' choice for the best performance went to Brad Wright, Beth Raber, and Brad's 12-year-old daughter, Kinsley. They killed it. They had a really great performance. They did a little country western. They did some rap, some hip-hop. It was really amazing, representing the 90s. And then, of course, walking away with the coveted mirror ball, Leslie Costas and Michael McConnell for the most money raised, $102,000 for the Boys and Girls Clubs.
Now, do the dancers from last year get to award it, or who awards it? Is that you?
No, the judges and I
The judges
awarded.
and you?
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. So tons of fun. It was really great. So I hope that all that did come had as much fun as I did.
I'm
which
sure
I'm
they
pretty
did.
sure they did.
Yeah, why wouldn't they?
Exactly. Why wouldn't they? So to answer your question, Drew, I did not watch any football this weekend. I missed the Cards game. My family was still in town. They spent the night. So the boys watched the game. My sister and I caught up. And so I didn't watch. And then yesterday afternoon was a wash. It was just like trying to catch up from the weekend. But and then I heard the Badgers lost to Thunderbird. But 2 good games I heard.
I didn't get the details, but I heard that it was a much closer game than people anticipated.
Okay, good.
The Badgers played them tough.
Yeah.
And, they were supposed to get blown out, is what I understood.
Yeah,
But apparently,
yeah.
we
Held our own, huh?
We held our own and
Nice.
did well.
Nice. And then you said the Cardinals didn't look bad
Yeah,
either.
the Cardinals look good. They had the first kickoff return under the new
Right.
under the new rules for the kickoff.
Right.
And I got to tell you, that was pretty impressive.
Is it a game changer?
I like it.
Yeah.
But not only do I like it, it makes it safe for the guys.
Right. So what it is basically is nobody can move until after the ball's been kicked, correct?
Correct. But now the ball is being kicked on the 35-yard line, but everybody's lined up all the way down on the other 35 so they don't get that full
Yes.
50, 60-yard and going to kill the guy.
Right,
so,
right.
But it worked out really well, and so far there's less injuries to yesterday's games in comparison to the other seasons.
Oh, good.
So, it's
Yeah,
working. People
good.
aren't getting hurt.
All right. Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Very nice. And what did you do all weekend, Maddie?
Lame. I want to
You
see
got a
people
haircut.
get hit.
I think you got a haircut.
I
Didn't
did.
You?
I got
Yeah.
a haircut on Friday.
Hairs
yeah.
look nice. Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I worked.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah.
that Beetlejuice brought in like $100 million over the weekend. Lots of people went to the movies.
I'm interested
This
to see
weekend.
how it goes in this next week.
Yeah.
Because a lot of friends that asked my opinion and stuff, I told them the truth, and then they went and watched, and they're like, yeah, you're right. It was just okay.
Oh, boo. I'm sad to hear that.
They're like, we're sorry your mom loves everything. And I'm like, I'm not. She's enjoying life. Let her love it.
That's exactly right.
My neighbors went and saw it, and they thought it was excellent.
Oh,
Yeah.
see?
So,
Okay.
I mean,
it's art. It's
It-
subjective.
go be entertained. Turn your brain
Exactly.
off, laugh a little bit, call it a day,
Right.
eat some popcorn.
There you go. Have a good time. So today, the big news, we're going to get our first look at the new iPhone 16 today. They say that besides a zoom lens and a new charging port, we shouldn't expect anything groundbreaking. They're also unveiling their new, slightly thinner second-generation Apple Watch Ultra. But the big news everybody's holding their breath for is Apple's latest AI software update, rumored to include a total overhaul of Siri that includes the ability to have full conversations and write essay form answers instead of just finding links to stuff you asked about. So we shall see about that update. That's happening at 10 a.m. Pacific. So that's coming up, right?
45 minutes, yeah.
Okay, very good. It is National Boss Employee Exchange Day. We get to be the boss of the station today. Actually, the lowest man on the totem pole gets to do that, so that's you, Matt.
Sweet. I'm going to go get some beers.
Drew thinks it's him, but he actually gets paid for his job.
Yeah, no, Drew gets paid. Yeah. He's big time over there.
Exactly. Matt does it out of the kindness of his heart. Right, Matt?
Sure.
For the
Sure.
fun.
Let's
for the
go with
fun
that.
and
For the fun of it.
Yeah, and maybe a couple commercials here and there.
Yeah,
yeah, wouldn't that be fun? You can trade places with Jason this morning.
yeah, I mean, everybody mandatory tequila shots.
Oh,
There you go.
He'll love that one. It is
How to win friends and influence people.
Exactly. Speaking of tequila, it's International Buy a Priest a Beer Day.
Perfect.
That's a day. Everybody gets a day.
Say that again.
Yeah, the Bible doesn't say anything about preventing a man of the cloth from enjoying his favorite beer. But yeah, it's International Buy a Priest a Beer Day.
I think if you take away, being able to marry and have kids and, procreate
gotta
or
let
at
a
least
man-
attempt procreate, you got to let a man drink.
Attempt procreate. I love
Yeah.
how you said that.
Just trying to be a
Buy
little
the
more.
man a beer.
Yeah.
That's-
At least get to drink. Yeah.
Exactly.
Minimum.
It's also National Teddy Bear Day and National Wiener Schnitzel Day. Contrary to popular belief, Wiener Schnitzel contains absolutely no wieners.
Absolutely.
I didn't know that till this morning. Well, because Der Wiener Schnitzel, they sell hot dogs. But it's actually a veal cutlet pan-fried in butter and is the national dish of Austria. In fact, they take their Wiener Schnitzel so seriously, there's actually a law that says you can only call it schnitzel if it's made with veal. Sorry, chicken.
Wow.
Did you know all that?
No.
The things you learn. The things you learn waking up with Leza Live.
I still want a hot dog, though.
I'll take the deal.
I actually had a hot dog yesterday.
Did you?
The first time in a long time.
Nice.
You had two.
I had 2 Saturday on the ride.
I love it. I love it. It's awesome.
I can tell you what I had yesterday.
What'd you have yesterday?
Okay, so some of my clients, most people know who they are. They have a barbecue place.
Yeah.
And they're having some things, so they asked me to come out and take the lock boxes off.
Yeah.
And they never let me leave empty-handed.
Yeah, so what'd you
And
have?
they are in a competition coming up, and they were like, here, you have to try this and let us know how it goes.
Yeah.
It was a pork butt rolled with a sausage. You would have loved it.
I would have loved it.
No, it gets better.
Yeah?
It was spicy. The sausage and everything was spicy, and the
Yeah.
meat was spicy.
Yeah.
And then he put over a honey barbecue glaze that made
Yeah.
it sweet. So it was sweet
Oh,
and
that sounds
spicy.
amazing.
It was so good.
That sounds better than the hot dog I had.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It was incredible. And they're like, here, try it. Let
Yeah.
us know.
Yeah.
I hope they get a little nod in their competition and win it. That would be awesome.
Okay. Do you
It's
want
a
to
national competition.
Well, what? Oh,
so
so it's not a restaurant that's doing it. It's these.
no,
it's
well,
these
they're a
people.
restaurant, but they're
Yeah.
catering and stuff. It's Montana Barbecue.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yum, yum, yum.
Yeah.
Yummy, yum. Okay, one last note before we move on, because we have a star for a guest today. This is a big deal today. I'm so excited. We're going to be chatting with, I think he must call himself a survivalist. I know that he's an instructor, a TV host. He's got, his bio is so long I couldn't even read it all. But we have Cody Lundeen coming in this morning, internationally recognized professional survival instructor with more than 32 years of hands-on teaching experience. I'm so excited about this interview. Stick around. Cody is coming up. One last thing before we move on, though. The Mega Millions jackpot is now at $800 million. So it's time to play the lottery once again. No winner was declared Friday night. It's now the 8th highest jackpot in the game's history. And it says that Tuesday's drawing, the cash option, if you win, will be 402 million buckaroos. So you can't win if you don't play.
No, I'd deal with it. I'd be okay with it.
You'd be all right with that. Yes, you would. And you'd still come to work on
I would.
On Wednesday, right?
I'd fix some things. I'd fix our building a little bit.
Aw,
I think that would be nice.
That would be really nice. Jason would love that. All right. So right now, you guys, if you ever have a dental emergency strike when you least expect it, you know it is not fun, right? But fear not, because Pro Solutions Dental Group has your back. Their experienced team is ready to tackle any dental dilemma, from sudden toothaches to knocked out teeth. And guess what? They offer flexible appointments to accommodate your busy schedule. Do not let dental disasters derail your day. Trust Pro Solutions Dental Group to handle it with care. Call them now and get back to smiling. 928-776-1208 or online at PrescottDentist.com. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM, KYCA. So excited to introduce to you this morning the founder, director, lead instructor of the Aboriginal Living Skills School, and so much more. And you're going to correct me because I said survivalist. It's Cody Lundeen this morning. Good morning, Cody.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
I'm so excited to have you on. You are such an interesting person. And I got online and I started reading, and then there was more, and then there was more, and then there was videos, then there was full shows, and then there was books. And I mean, you really have done so much in your life. And before we get started, though, correct me. I called you survivalist, and what exactly do you call yourself?
Yeah, I'm an outdoor survival instructor, and survivalists really they kill cops and they blow up federal buildings.
Oh, really?
Right?
I call those terrorists.
Yeah. Well, they used to be called survivalists, so I try to
stay away from
correct-
that.
Stay away from that because it has negative connotations.
Yes.
And what I do is I'm actually an outdoor survival instructor. That's
Yes.
what I do.
Okay. All right. Thank you for correcting me on that. I
Sure.
want to get it right.
Sure.
Yes. Well, tell us how you got into this way of life, because that's what it is, right? It's a lifestyle, and also you're helping others learn what you've learned. So tell us how you got started.
It is, and it is a lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not just a business and a profession. That
Right.
happened later. So my interest started in learning how to do more with less, which I'm a big fan of, about how did Native peoples not have all the stuff that we have.
Right.
You know, because camping has become a lot more complicated in the last 30,
Oh,
40
yeah.
years. So it was a personal interest of mine, a personal passion about how to do more with less. That started as a personal passion. And then later on, I was what you call broke. I needed a job. And I tried about 26 summer camps in Prescott, Arizona in 1990 or 1991 and didn't get one response. Wrote him a letter, said, hey, my name is Cody. Here's what I can do with the kids. Teach them how to responsibly build fire, blah, blah, blah.
Not one response. That really surprises me.
Yeah, especially at the time. Again, this was the early 90s. Things were a little bit more relaxed. And then later I just had something called a brochure. Remember,
Yeah.
it was a thing. It
Yes.
was on paper.
Yes.
A thing called paper.
Right.
And I used to put it on a thing called phone booths around town.
Okay.
In Prescott, Arizona, because I started my business in 91 here in Prescott. And it just started from there. And like you, we talked a little bit about before we went on air. You love doing what you do.
Right.
It's a personal passion, and I love doing what I do. So it makes it easier to weather the storm of having no money and trying to push that business along and have it be successful when you're already in love with what you do.
Right. Amazing. Well, you're so recognizable around town, and everybody knows you as the guy that doesn't wear shoes. Right?
I guess so,
mean,
yeah.
I think that, first of all, that's the first thing people think of. I mean, that and the braids and what you've done with this great lifestyle and making it into a career and
Yeah.
helping others learn these skills. But everybody says, first thing, why doesn't he wear shoes? Can you explain?
Sure, yeah, why
Okay.
doesn't he wear shoes? It makes me walk slower, makes me pay attention more.
I love that.
And if you look at a lot of native cultures, yeah, they had sandals and they made stuff, but they had to make them.
Right.
We're in a culture that if it wears out, you go buy them. But
Yes.
if you had to make your own shoes, you'd wear them when you needed to wear them,
Right.
not just for the heck of it. And also, POWs, one of the first things they do to prisoners of war is they took their shoes so they wouldn't run away. So you can have a highly trained special forces operator, and if they lose their boots, what do they do, really? So I wanted my feet tough. Historically, that's been an advantage. And there's all this stuff now called earthing and a lot of this kind of hippie.
Grounding, too.
Grounding
that is a
or
big
whatever.
word.
Yeah, and I don't understand that or really am not interested in it. I just
Okay.
do it for my own personal reasons.
Uh-huh.
And maybe I'll stop one day, but I like it. I mean,
Yeah.
shoes, it's more comfortable for me to be barefoot than with something else on my feet.
How long did it take for you to be comfortable barefoot?
Still.
Yeah.
In Arizona,
Yeah.
it's a weekly, daily thing. There's places
Still,
in Arizona
okay.
that you don't walk with no shoes, right?
Right.
If we were in Kentucky, but no, here,
Here.
it's constantly, it's like you train, you use it or lose it.
Yeah.
So if I put on sandals or whatever for 6 months, I'd have baby feet and I'd have to start over. So you
Right.
have to keep doing that. And because of our lax winters here, I can. If I was in Montana, it'd be a different story.
I can't imagine walking around with no shoes on in the winter here, but
Socks, 3 pairs of wool socks.
is that what you wear?
Well, yes.
Yes.
But you want to wear boots like a sane person, right, with socks.
Same person.
But if you lost your boots, one of the things I recommend for winter survival is if you did have 2 or 3 pairs of non-threadbare wool socks and like a Ziploc bag in your backpack, stuff happens. That's what I do is I deal with Murphy's Law. You can, with those socks, walk out in the snow. And most people psychologically, we lost our boots, we're screwed, it's not going to happen.
Right.
That's not true. So the socks act as a felt boot, just for those that might be listening that are into winter survival skills.
Very cool. I love what you said, that it causes you to slow down. Because in our world today, we're going 100 miles an hour. And I would imagine that slowing down is something we could all use a little bit of, and taking off your shoes. That's one way to do it.
Well, speed can kill in the
Yes.
wilderness.
Yes.
If you do stuff abruptly, that's not how nature usually operates. She does in a storm. but you have to be methodical to stay alive, and usually that means slowing down your pace so you don't walk over the cliff.
Very cool. Very interesting stuff. Okay, so you have your Aboriginal Living Skills School.
Yes.
How long has this school been here?
I started in sunny Prescott, Arizona in 1991.
Wonderful.
So it's been 34 years. I'm at the tail end. I just got off a 9-day course about 2 weeks ago. So it's been a real privilege to train in Prescott, because we're in such a beautiful yet deadly area called Arizona, where you can die of hyperthermia in the desert in Phoenix or hypo up in Flag in a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
So when people get in their car, it depends on where you land, desert or mountain, about what you should have stashed and what skills you should know. So Arizona is very challenging and yet beautiful because of the terrain variation we have. We have the more stuff outdoors, 3 geographical provinces, 10 biological life zones in all 4 North American deserts. We have more biodiversity in the shortest drive time of any place in North America. California has more, but you've got to drive further. Now, what that means for your listeners is you better have your game face on when you go out to picnic with the kids and watch the weather and know which bioregion you're going to, so you have enough stuff, to, if something happens, to deal with that situation.
We hear about it all the time in the news in this state. People got stuck in traffic in a storm and they didn't make it, or even just out on a lake. We hear about these storms coming up and people not knowing what to do to survive. They try to rush off the lake, and then they bottleneck, and that's when things can happen. So it's very interesting to me that you teach these living skills here in Arizona. What kind of courses do you have at your school?
I do. I teach primitive living skills, catching fish with their hands, making fire with sticks, the really stuff that would have been popular here 200 years ago.
Right.
I teach urban preparedness with or without zombies. That's what happens if a monsoon takes out a transformer and all of a sudden the toilet doesn't work or we can't get water. And then I teach modern survival skills. What if Leza was out with people you care about in the Jeep and it breaks down in the mountains and it starts to lightly snow? How do you deal with that?
Right.
So those are 3 genres of self-reliant skills that get screwed up and put together on bad TV shows and whatever, but they're separate. They're separate radio shows. They all involve radio, but they're separate.
Right.
And they should be taught and absorbed as such, because they're dealing with different emergencies.
Who do you recommend takes your courses? Everybody?
In all this time, I've had everyone under the sun from all over the world, from kids to people that have grandkids.
Sure.
And the one, you'll probably ask, what's the one common denominator? I think I see 2 or 3 camps. They want to carry less stuff. They want to be more self-reliant. And then a lot of my clients, just frankly, and then this is nothing to do with now, 2024. I've been doing this a long time.
Right.
Even back in 91, it's like, I want to be more self-reliant because I don't quite trust what's going on. And that's interesting when I can say that over 34 years. That's apolitical. It has nothing to do with this. People feel, we talked about our society being high speed. We're more and more disconnected with stuff that's real, and basically how to save our own bacon.
Yeah.
We go to the store, if the water doesn't work, if the toilet doesn't work, if you can't get food, what's the plan B? And most people don't have a plan B.
Right.
And that's BS. That's the BS plan.
Sure.
And more people are realizing, I don't want to do that. I want to be able to be more self-reliant and confident and take care of myself, my family, in an ice storm or a tornado. I mean, look what's going on with the weather alone. So self-reliance should never go out of style. It has for a while. Tech has taken over. But I think people are realizing that tech it's wonderful, but it's a bunch of moving parts that can fail, essentially.
Exactly.
And they want a low-tech survival plan for their friends and family. And in my grandparents' era, in the South Dakota homestead where they grew up, that used to be called common sense.
Right.
Right?
That's a great point. Absolutely.
And now it's not.
It's not. Wow. Okay. We have to take a quick break. When we come back, we're chatting with Cody Lundeen, an internationally recognized professional survival instructor, and with more than 32 years of experience. Because you know what? It's become such a fad thing. All the TV shows that I watch, I love them. Naked and Afraid, Alone. I want to talk about all these things.
I won't hold that against you.
Okay,
Leza.
okay. Please don't. But I want to get your take on it. Why it's become such a a fad thing to survive when, like, you've been doing it since 1991? And, why is it so popular now? We'll talk about that on the other side of this quick break here on Leza Live. Right now, ladies, listen up. If you're not feeling like yourself, you might be dealing with the effects of hormonal imbalance. And Prescott Women's Clinic has the solution with their bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It's natural and it's effective, and it helps you feel like yourself again. They have 2 locations, one in Prescott off of Willow Creek Road and one in Prescott Valley on Florentine Road. Super easy to take care of yourself and get started, but you gotta take the first step. Make the phone call, 928-778-4300. Make that appointment. You can also do it online at PrescottWomen'sClinic.com, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to Leza Live on the News, 103.5 FM KYCA on a Monday morning. Huge guest this morning, Cody Lundeen, the founder, director, lead instructor of the Aboriginal Living Skills School that has been right here in Prescott, right? Since 1991.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. Well, before we went to break, we talked about the survival shows that are so popular. Why do you think they're so popular right now?
That's a great question, and I don't really have an answer, but it's a dangerous popularity. And what I mean by that is you now have a lot of people on TV that are not real survival instructors that are teaching you and your family survival skills.
Right.
Now, we're dealing with stuff that affects people's lives.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So if you had a show about a bunch of doctors, but no one was a real physician, and you're now deciding to operate on little Jimmy on the kitchen table. So the problem is misinformation. And unless you're steeped in the profession, like someone like myself, you don't know what's BS and what's not.
Right.
That's a problem.
Yes.
Because we're dealing with your safety.
Right.
So that full stop, right?
Okay, yes.
The other aspect is, I forget if it's theta waves, but television, Medicine Avenue, we've known this. Television puts you in a hypnotic state, literally. We've known about this for decades. So Leza, when she watches her survival shows, whatever your background is in a you're in a suggestive state because of the vibes literally being put off by the TV.
Okay.
So you're even more suggestive than you usually would be in if someone was just talking to you. So we have a very suggestive Leza with a dubious background in outdoor survival skills that's absorbing the stuff from various dubious people on TV that are, quote, teaching. To me, that's terrifying as a survival instructor. And it's terrifying I feel, I don't want to say I feel bad for you, but I feel bad for the viewers that don't know the difference, because they could literally lose their lives off wrong information, because what's going to come up in a crisis situation is what you've had buried back in your head from the survival TV shows. So I would say to you and everyone else listening to this show, take it as entertainment. If you learn a tidbit, that's fine, but I think you should research that.
Yes.
We are dealing with your safety and your family's safety, and I don't compromise with that. That's my red line.
Okay, and I believe you when you say that. And I also do believe that I am watching it for entertainment value. I would never want to be out in the wilderness alone like these TV shows. So I really feel that it is entertaining to see these people survive on, little to nothing. Even, naked and afraid. I mean, you're like, that is like my worst fear, to be out there. And so I really don't think that, other than making the shoes out of leaves, I'm really not learning anything about surviving. Maybe making a shelter first before the storm comes, those kind of things. But I see your concern.
Yeah, I just want you to be careful.
Yes.
Because I know, I've looked at the little guy running the Oz show behind the curtains.
Yeah.
I've been on that. My first TV experience teaching survival skills, believe it or not, was some presenter who's probably not presenting anymore at Charlotte Hall Museum. They came up from Phoenix from one of the news crews in the mid-'90s.
Sure.
So I know how production works.
Yes.
And keep in mind, your viewers need to realize that survival shows are produced.
Right.
And that means the coconut can come out of the cooler whenever it needs to come out of the cooler at the viewer's expense. Have fun, learn a trick or two, but realize that your safety, Lisa's safety, comes first.
Right. Now you've had a couple of shows, and you have a new show that's just coming out, right?
Yes.
What was the past show? Was it Dual Survivor? Was that the old one?
Yeah, the network couldn't even understand the name of their own show. It's actually Dual Survival.
Okay.
But even Discovery Channel couldn't quite figure that one out.
Yeah, interesting. But tell us about your new show.
Yeah, it's called The Survival Show with Cody Lundeen. And it's my kind of answer to corporate TV, which we were just talking about. It's the only show made by a real survival instructor. And what I have is my co-hosts are off the wall, needless to say. And as an educator and a teacher for 34 years, the first thing you have to do is get people's attention before you can teach them. So while a corporate show would use phony drama, I use crazy co-hosts and colors and songs, etc. Because after a classroom experience, when you look at people and you're teaching them, you understand and you can see if they think you're full of you-know-what, if their head's on the desk in a puddle of drool, if they're paying attention.
Right.
So that training for me helped me put out what I thought would keep people's attention. And then essentially I'm tricking them into learning.
Right.
That's what it's come to, right?
Yes.
We were so high-strung and out there and cheeseburgers at 2 that look at TV. I don't. But if you go to a hotel and watch it, it's boom, 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 boom. But there's not even a chance to get a thought.
Right.
So I had to present in a fashion that's more high speed than I'm comfortable with. But I have to also deal with our culture as it is now. And the reality of we have the attention span of a gnat.
Yes, we do. Absolutely. Well, when we come back from this quick break, I want you to tell us about some of the co-hosts and what the show entails, and also where we can watch it. All right. We're talking with Cody Lundeen this morning, founder, director, and lead instructor of the Aboriginal Living Skills School. If you guys have a question for Cody, give us a call, 928-541-1016. I'm sure you'd love to answer any questions people have for you, right, Cody?
Whatever questions they have.
All right. Fantastic. That's coming up here on Leza Live. Right now, I have to thank the Artful Eye Jewelers, middle of Whiskey Road, downtown Prescott. They lent me the most beautiful jewelry to wear during my hosting of Dancing for the Stars to benefit the Boys and Girls Clubs this past weekend. 32 carats of diamonds. I mean, the necklace, the pendant, the earrings I have on this morning, the bracelet that is going to be hard to part with. I know Cody's rolling his eyes at me. He's totally rolling his eyes at me. But, it is what it is. I just want to thank the Artful Eye Jewelers. They always take good care of us. And if you haven't been into the store in a while, you need to stop in and say hi to Kara and the team. Smack dab in the middle of Whiskey Road, downtown Prescott. Welcome back, and thanks for hanging out with us this morning. It's Leza Live on the News 103.5 FM KYCA. My guest is Cody Lundeen, internationally recognized professional survival instructor, and so much more. We're talking about your TV show right now. It's called The Survival Show with Cody Lundeen, and I'm assuming you were inspired to do this show to kind of counteract all these other shows where they're not where people aren't really learning how to survive. We're not really learning skills. Yeah. So tell us about the show, and you mentioned that you have some interesting, colorful co-hosts.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
When I was doing research for the show, I looked at the 3 most popular, longest-running shows in the United States of America. And one is The Simpsons.
Okay.
One is Saturday Night Live. And one is The Tonight Show.
Wow.
So, right? So here you have what they call a variety show. So I thought, what if I did a survival show in a variety show format? Because I no one done that yet.
Yeah, right.
And so I did, also based on the demographics about what people seem to watch the longest. Because with a variety show, you can flip things around. You'll have a different guest after me, right? And then another guest, and you get to pick those guests, and that's your variety.
Exactly.
So mine was, I have Elvis sing a theme song.
Nice.
So I researched Star Trek Gilligan's Island, and I have a 45-second theme song that back in the day, gosh darn it, you had a theme song and it got stuck in your head and corrupted your every thought.
Right.
Like Gilligan's Island or whatever.
I need a theme song, Matt. Will you work on that, please?
You do.
Yes,
I do.
I will.
So I got one of those. I had an Elvis guy sing it, which is great. A friend who I just had on another 9-day course is the musician. So it's original songs, original art. Dr. Dingle is a co-host of mine. He's a very eccentric. I don't know where he's from, someplace in like Eastern Europe.
I love it.
But he does the real psychological, intense physiology of my profession.
Okay.
Let the scientist do it. He's a lot better. So Dead Fred is dead. He's a dead hiker. He's a very skeleton-like person.
Yeah.
And he watches the Manson family. No, not the Manson family. But we're dealing with the 1970s because the travel trailer, which is my set, has green shag carpet, a lava lamp, and male girls that come in white go-go boots and miniskirts because that's the day, right? It's 1970, whatever.
Right.
I am sold.
Yeah.
Well, the demographics of survival shows is mostly men.
Yes,
Duh,
right?
So the male girls are girls. They're women. Duh.
Right.
And then so the Manson family, it ends poorly with them. They go through different survival scenarios. And then there's Bushwhacking with Cody, where I get to do my cameo piece and teach a skill as I see fit, as I think it should be edited for Leza.
Yeah.
So she's safe. I'm controlling the editing, not someone with no experience in outdoor survival skills. So if you can't tell, it's a pretty wild show with a different presentation style to keep the viewer's attention, and yet all the skills underneath the campiness are rock solid because they've been run through me and my years of experience. And so I'm really excited to have it out there because it offers a viewer a choice to watch something that's bona fide.
I love it. Where can we watch it?
Survivalshow.com. You can get a DVD or you can stream it. Survivalshow.com is the place for that.
All right, we're going to do it, definitely. Now, we have to take one more quick break. And when we come back, I want you to will you teach us a survival skill on the radio? I know that you said here in Arizona, we have a lot of variables and our terrain is different.
Come up with something good,
yes.
and then we'll answer that question to the best of my ability.
Okay, fantastic. That's coming up here on Leza Live. Stay with us. It's Leza live on the news, 103.5 FM KYCA. My guest this morning, Cody Lundeen, the internationally recognized professional survival instructor. We have a caller on the line. Tina, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Hi. Is he listening to me? Cody?
Yes, we can hear you. Oh, you know what? You got to put these headphones on so that you can hear Tina. Okay. Yes, that's right. Okay, tell me, can you go ahead and speak, Tina, and we'll see if Cody
Hi, Cody.
Hi, Tina.
I'm seeing you in the computer right now. I watch the shows with Dave Catterberry,
Yeah,
the dual survival.
sure.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Just to let you know that you're my hero. I really, really appreciate you. I want to thank you for all the viewers, on behalf of all the viewers, for your effort and your skill and your hard work. I mean, I've been learning a lot from you, watching you. I watch you on the dual survival usually, and I would like to watch your show that's coming up. I came to Prescott in college to meet you personally,
Oh, really?
but I missed you somehow.
Habla español?
I just want to know, please, when I watched you in the swamp of which country was, I don't remember, with piranhas.
There was a lot of swamp. Was it Brazil?
Yeah, I think so. Is that true, Cody?
Piranhas in Brazil?
Yes.
Oh, yes. There are offset.
And
I would
how-
catch them.
Is there a crew to help you? Because you put yourself in harm's way, even
good
though
question.
you're high skilled. But at any time you can be attacked in the swamps or something. I worry about your life.
Oh,
Well,
that's
yeah.
so sweet.
I mean,
God,
there is
I wonder
risk.
If there's a crew to help him if something
There is
happens.
risk, Tina,
Is
but
there?
oh, yeah, of course, we're out in the wilderness, and there's things
So
that
there's
if they
somebody
happen,
to
they
help you.
happen.
Okay, but I just don't want to keep it too long. I just admire you. You're like my hero.
Well, thank
Thank
you.
you, Tina. Thank
And
you
I
so
like
much
Dave
for calling.
Canterbury, but it's not. You're it.
Well, thank you, Tina.
Thank you. Very intelligent, very smart.
Thank you,
you.
Tina. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
calling so much. Isn't that wonderful? She
That
said
is
you're her
wonderful.
hero.
Yeah,
and she's
gee
worried
whiz.
about you. That's
Gee
so
whiz.
sweet. Okay, so we talked about Arizona,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to know, what are some of the most common ways people die in outdoor survival situations here in our state?
Right, great question.
And I know that probably is not something you can answer in 4 minutes.
No, but I will do. In the mountains, it's hypothermia.
Mm-hmm.
Hypo means low, thermia means heat. It's from Greek origin. That means your core body temperature, your torso gets too low. That's bad.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big way to die. So when you go to the mountains, check the weather, bring the appropriate clothing, because that'll help regulate body temperature. We're not going to talk about fire. There's not enough time. Play it smart when you go to the mountains. Hypothermia is the biggest killer.
Okay.
Down in our deserts, it's hyperthermia. Hyper means high, thermia means heat. Again, Greek origin. That's classic desert survival. The cookies get too hot. Your core top body temperature of 98.6 gets high. Bad. So water is obviously a priority down in the desert, and also clothing and shelter. So know what you're doing. Check the temperature before you go out. Know which area of our beautiful state you're going to recreate in, and be prepared, because it's your responsibility to be prepared. And if not, then know how to get a hold of search and rescue, and they'll bail you out.
Right, absolutely. If people are interested in learning more about survival, which we all should be interested in learning more, how do they enroll for classes at your school? And are they all 9 weeks long, or how does it work at the school?
No, my courses are from 2 to 9 days long.
Okay.
I will be putting out my 2025 course schedule either this month or early this October.
Okay.
CodyLundeen.com is my website. You can also link to that with thesurvivalshow.com. And my new schedule for survival courses will be out within a few weeks. And it's, again, 2 to 9 days. The dates are there. Everything's there. Call us if you have questions. Stay safe.
Wonderful. Wow, that's great. I mean, a lot of people need this information, and it's great, like Tina said, that you are offering it to people. And all I have to do is just make that first move. And
Yeah.
so a 2-day course. Well, what do you teach in 2 days?
It depends on the context. If it's a modern survival skills course like my Staying Alive course, we teach about hypothermia, dehydration, like we a little bit talked about, shelter, settling for rescue, fire, and the truth about solar stills. out there.
Right.
If it's a primitive skill, it could be stone knives, fire with sticks, cordage from plants. So again, the contexts are very different. There's separate radio shows, and you need to find out which show you want to be on.
Right, absolutely. Are they in-class classes, or are they online classes, or is that a stupid question?
No, it's not a stupid question because we're trying to help people stay
Right.
alive.
Right.
My courses are in wilderness. We get in the LSS van. I have a permit with Prescott National Forest, and we go out into the wilderness to train.
Okay.
There's some that are at my school, which has a very large 12-acre training area,
Okay.
but most of our stuff is backcountry.
Very nice. Very nice. I have a fun fact. We just have a minute left, but I got this off the website. And it says, Cody has a permit from Arizona Game and Fish to collect roadkill.
Yeah, and they won't let me do that anymore,
They
but I can
don't?
still catch fish with my hands
You can,
through
and
them.
it also says he is the only person in Arizona with a license to catch fish with his hands.
Yeah, they give me the licenses no one cares about.
Yeah. What's the trick? What's the trick of catching a fish with your hands? Not that anybody can go out and do it if you don't have a license.
Having the fish there, typically you're in water that you're not submerged in so you can still breathe. You work yourself upstream and you literally feel under the banks and you can feel that fish.
Aren't you scared that something under the banks will bite you? Because that's what I'm scared of.
I have had a student bit by a muskrat, but they were asking for it. So here, no. In places with snapping turtles and alligators, you're not going to see me hand fishing.
There you go. That's that. If you take one thing away from this interview this morning,
Take that away.
Take that away. And to Tina's point, have you ever been bitten by a piranha? Or
No.
anything, or anything that you want to mention in the next 5 seconds?
Unfortunately, my little doggy was hit by a scorpion just a couple days ago, and I've been hit by a scorpion. But that's it. Knock on wood.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Let's all knock on wood.
Thank you so much for coming in this morning. You are delightful, and I'd love to have you back someday.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you for listening. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day.